Now usually this is where the business career, or the attempt to start a business for very many people has ended. But even sadder, I have seen it completely destroy some people. And the reason why I say this is very sad is because these people do not know a very important secret of success in business. And that secret is that success and failure are twins. In fact, they are twins joined at the hip. In fact, this secret is so big, it's not a secret about business. It's a secret about this life, the life you live. Now, before I go any further, I want to make sure that I'm clear. I'm not saying that you should go out with your first idea, expecting failure. No way. If you're using tried and tested ideas and tried and tested techniques, like the ones in the book I recommend on this channel, or rather the books I recommend on this channel, your chances of success are pretty high, extremely good. But somewhere down the road, assuming you succeed initially, somewhere down the road, you're going to meet with failure. And if you're not careful, that failure could destroy you, apart from destroying your business. In other words, how you handle failure will make or break you. Now, in order to drive this point home, let me start with established businesses. And I'll give you a few quick examples. I think we'll both agree that the Coca-Cola company is one of the most successful businesses in the world. One of the most successful businesses ever. The company has been there for a very, very long time. Most of us enjoy their products all over the world. However, wait for this one, the Coca-Cola company is also going to go down in history as the company that experienced the most devastating and sensational failure in the history of business. The company spent a fortune to launch New Coke in the 80s, and the new Coca-Cola was a very sensational failure. It flopped. And so, the company was forced to revert back to the old Coke. Now, I'll not take a lot of time discussing that failure. You can get information by going to Google, and you can Google something like, why did New Coke fail? And you'll get the whole story there. But let us come closer to home, and let's talk about a company that every Kenyan knows about. I'm of course talking about the company Safaricom. If you're a Kenyan, I am very certain and I'm very sure that you are most likely using the Safaricom network, internet network, to listen to this video. And you have a phone that has a Safaricom SIM card. The odds are well over 90%. I mean, this is a very, very successful company. Indeed, one of the most successful companies in the history of East and Central Africa and beyond. Now, this company had a very sensational failure. They launched something called Simu ya Jamii. Now, at the time, this idea made a lot of sense. Not many people had cell phones. And so you could go to an agent, and you have this number of a cell phone, and you pay some money and you make a call to a cell phone. And this idea, surprisingly, flopped, and the company lost a lot of money. Now, here is the extremely fascinating part of this story. And it teaches a lesson that if you take that lesson away from this video, you don't need to listen to anything else. Now, one would expect after failure, somebody would more or less have given up, and therefore they would be very cautious about trying another idea anytime soon. Least of all, a risky idea, a very, very risky idea. But this is exactly what Safaricom did. They picked themselves up and they moved on to the next idea. Now, people who knew about the failure of Simu ya Jamii started making all kinds of predictions. They said, now this company is finished. After that failure, now this risky idea, which will definitely not work. You're dealing with people's money. There's no way this idea will work. Safaricom Quisha. these guys are just crazy. The idea I'm talking about is, of course, the M-Pesa idea. And of course, we all know, the M-Pesa idea was wildly successful. It lifted that company to heights which competitors to this day find very difficult to even come near. It was one of those ideas and successes that we can confidently call a game changer. So, if you're already an established businessman and you try something new and it fails, that is normal in business. That is normal in life. Try your best to leave emotions out of it. It's not you who has failed. It's just an idea you're trying that has failed. Learn from your mistake and move on as quickly as possible. Never ever give up. Now I find it absolutely amazing, that as grown-ups we don't understand this lesson of life, and yet toddlers, kids who have just been born the other day, understand it. If you don't have kids of your own, or you have never seen this, try and get the opportunity to see a child learning how to walk. Imagine if they gave up, the first time they tried to walk, they fell, they hurt themselves, they cried, and they gave up. What would happen? They'd never be able to walk their entire life. Now I've seen small toddlers, learning how to walk, fall so badly that they draw blood. They cut themselves on the forehead. Now that's a big enough failure. That's a big enough warning. Don't try again to walk. But what happens? They forget very quickly. Even before that wound has healed, they're up again trying to walk. Folks, that's the spirit of a true entrepreneur. This example is very important because it proves that failing is a mystery of life. It is a very deep lesson in life. It is how human beings are supposed to learn things, including how to run a successful business. And it's a mystery how this lesson never sinks into us. It's a mystery how we never get to understand this particular lesson of life, which is so important, so key. Because this lesson is screaming at us all the time. I mean, you go to watch a movie, or you watch your favorite TV series. What happens to the star? Does he walk in the first scene and succeed? Succeed in everything he's going after? Succeed in everything he does? If it's an action movie, does he just walk in and kick everybody, kill everybody, box everybody down, win every fight? Is that what happens? Well, if anybody ever made such a movie, it would be a flop. It's boring. And real life is not boring. Real life is like an exciting movie. Challenges here, challenges there, small successes here, but mostly failures. Until that final scene where there's sensational success that leaves us in tears, leaves us very happy. We walk out of the movie feeling very elated and feeling good for a star. That is life. And that is the life of an entrepreneur. I mean, which kid walked into their first day in school and then demanded a university degree? Now let me just stop ranting. Maybe you don't believe me. And let me quote somebody who should know much better than myself, and somebody who I'm sure you'll believe more. Now the Google company, we all use a Google search engine. Yes, the Google organization is a very successful business. It is a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. It was founded by two guys called Sergey Brin and Larry Page. Now this is what Sergey Brin has to say. This is precisely what he has to say about success, especially success in business. And I quote, "The only way you're going to have success is to have lots of failures first." I need to repeat that. The only way you're going to have success is to have lots of failures first. Now please note, he's not even talking about how the company started. You see, Google is a very innovative company. They keep on producing new products, new things, new ideas all the time. They have a very active R&D department, research and development. So these very smart guys running a very successful company, they also fail. they still fail to come up with successful new innovations and successful new ideas. Now let's cut to the chase. Sorry that I got carried away, but I've seen too many people fail and give up. And I'm very determined that you, yes you, will not be one of them. So please carry this lesson in your journey to be a very successful entrepreneur. Now a bit of advice. When you go down this road, when you decide to launch your own business, I recommend that you cut off your friends. They should know as little as possible about what you're doing, because they'll discourage you. They'll talk behind your back when you fail. And this is what has ended so many promising careers in business. Now, of course, I'm aware of the fact that a lot of us live for our friends and we live for what other people think about us. It is very important for us to get approval from our friends, our relatives, and other people. If you can't shake off that, I'm afraid business may not be for you. There is even a trickier challenge you will have to face. If you're married, your spouse, your wife or your husband. Don't expect them to encourage you. Don't expect them to be there for you. Basically, you're on your own. I know this man whose wife really discouraged him. She told him, just give up this thing. Go out and get a job. The children are going to starve. What are we going to do? And she said every hurtful thing to him to put him down. But fortunately, this was a strong man. And when he succeeded, very sensationally, she was the first one there, saying, I was there with you. I persevered through it. I persevered through your hard times, which actually was a fact. It was true. She discouraged him, but she was there for him. She never left him. So she had the full right to enjoy the fruits of success with him. Whatever your contrary views may be, it is a fact. Anyway, I think you get my point. So pick up the two books. You can see the details on the screen on exactly what you have to do and the cost. This will give you a tremendous head start. And go out there and pick the idea you want to try out and go and try it. And give it everything you have. Chances are very high you'll succeed. But in case you fail, pick yourself up very quickly and move on very quickly to try something else. But do not forget to take away something with you. From your first failure, learn something from it. Take the lessons and apply them to your second attempt. Just like the child learning how to walk, you'll notice that they're a bit scared on the second attempt. They've fallen, they've hurt themselves, they're more cautious. They're definitely carrying with them the lessons of the first fall. I'm also aware there are a lot of people who may be taking in this video who have tried business before and failed. And they swore to themselves, never again. Maybe it was a very serious emotional experience, like it is for a lot of people. Now I have something very important to say to this kind of people. How many times have you failed? Once? Twice? 3 times? And you want to give up completely? Get out of here. Get serious, my friend. Imagine if a toddler gives up on trying to walk on their 5th or 6th fall. What would happen? I'm sure you're better than a toddler. You're not born the other day. So go out and try again. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.